And here we are, live again on Facebook and simultaneously on YouTube. Our new YouTube channel launched this week that if you go to, you'll see all our previous episodes of The Masked Cricketer. And obviously tonight is our 10th instalment. So thanks again for joining us on a Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. And we've been really appreciating your support over the last 10 weeks. Another 2,000 views on the last instalment with Martin Ball, who was great entertainment, said it as it was, and just a genuine, good guy. Said it really well, was honest with a lot of integrity, I thought. So it was a really good episode. I'm going to have to plug this going forward as well. Guys, we've got some amazing names lined up coming for you in the next few weeks. You would be silly to miss it. You heard it here first. Yes, I am dressed as a Scottish Boris Johnson tonight. Sorry, I'm going to ding. That was it. I've got some sound effects, which I might bring in from time to time because I'm silly. And Kieran said it sounds terrible, but hey-ho, I'm going to go for it anyway. And just to say, obviously the serious bits, we're doing this for charity for the Lord Taverners, which is providing care for disadvantaged children and disability cricket in Oxfordshire for table cricket and Super Ones cricket. So it's a really good cause, and as you can see down the bottom there, scrolling along your page, is the Just Giving page for the Lord Taverners. So again, it's not compulsory, but if you enjoyed the evening and you've had a bit of entertainment, then please donate as much as you can. Just a couple of things. Obviously, Dave Freeman's Internet's Most Amateur Quiz again on Friday, and Mondays, which is normally a music, sports, or TV and films quiz, going well again. Freebs is raising a lot of money for Great Tube Cricket Club. Ian Bryan's Tales from the Cotton Sledge returned this week, so that's good to see as well. And without further ado, Kieran, you have information on our Thursday's sports show, courtesy of Oxford City Football Club.co.uk.
Yes, I do indeed. So on Thursday, we have, I think it again will be roughly our 10th show. Live on Oxford City Radio, which is at the Oxford City Football Club website, oxfordcityfc.co.uk. This week's show will include the legendary broadcaster Headley Feast, who's well known in these parts. Little story that I have with Headley a few years back, which I'm sure that I'll let everybody know what that is. We're also going to be talking Chinner Rugby Club, the probably one of the biggest clubs in Oxfordshire, National League side, how they've been coping through the lockdown, and also we'll no doubt at all be talking more about cricket following what was going on in Parliament today. We won't be too controversial on here because this is all for charity and for good cause, but I'm sure that there'll be a number of things that we would like to talk about tomorrow regarding the prospect or possibly the lack of prospect of getting back onto a cricket field this year. So, yeah, hopefully we will. Don't do that to me, Daryl. Hopefully we will have a good evening tonight. And as Daryl said, we've got a number of really good Facebook cricketers coming up over the coming weeks. No, I won't get the shirt off. This is yet another one of my Aussie shirts, which never fitted me a few years ago. And similar to a certain Mr. Andy Splatter, I'm doing all right and getting rid of a few ounces. So all these things now fit me. It's been like having a whole new wardrobe. Just in time to play cricket this season for the first time in 5 years, and we're all locked down. But yeah, that's it for me, Daryl. I think without further ado, I think I'll hand back to you for this week's instalment of The Masked Cricketer. And I'm going to say it this week. Those that are watching, ask the mask.
Don't forget it. Trending, guys. It's got to be trending. We want that Ask the Mask trending. Hashtag. Come on, you can do it. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of a fanfare before we bring our Masked Cricketer online. Yes, we are. And there we have our masked cricketer.
No expense spared.
No expense spared at all. Might have given it away already by the looks of things on the name there, but who knows? Could it be a double bluff? I think David Cameron liked his cricket, didn't he, Kieran?
He did.
Right.
Very often seen up at Tradlington Cricket Club, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So this.
Just checking how many viewers have gone offline, Daryl, in the last 2 seconds. Not too many. We still have viewers, which is good.
Still got viewers. That's good. So I think we can ask our normal question, can't we, Kieran? First up, Dave Freeman's not online, I don't think, but I think we can ask.
Not. He's not. We will ask the question because Dave would normally ask this first. So the first question, as always, have you ever played cricket at Great and Little Chew Cricket Club?
That's a
thumbs up. I hope that's a thumbs up anyway.
That isn't. I think that's. Yeah, it's a thumbs up. I think we can safely say we'll move swiftly on. I'm guessing a thumb might be down for no's, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, there we go. There we go. Brilliant. So that's great. Have you played or are you playing in the OCA?
Good league. No.
Never played in that league. Never wanted to, I know. So there we go.
I knew that was coming.
All right, I'm gonna. Yeah, I've got that in straight away. That's yeah, good. Okay. So I'm getting a lot of stick from my family about my hair, I think, but we'll move swiftly on from that. Are you a Cherwell League cricketer? No, not a Cherwell League cricketer. Have you ever played Cherwell League cricket? Yes, he has played Cherwell League cricketer. I say he. Are you male? Oh, yeah. He wasn't sure there for a minute. Wasn't sure. Okay, cool. Kieran, are there any... yeah, I think there are a few questions coming in. Over to you, buddy.
Yeah, we've got a few coming in. I'm going to ask one first. Have you ever been in Parliament? Just get that one out there. No,
it's not David Cameron, guys.
Oh, gutted.
Double bluff. Double bluff.
So you have played Cherwell League cricket. So have you ever played in the Feeder League or the Home Counties Premier League?
No.
No.
Right. There's a couple there asking, are you a batsman? Yes. He is definitely a batsman. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting one. Okay. Kieran, have you got anything else? Oh, do you bowl? May have done in the past. May have done in the past, but not now. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Right. Understand.
So you're a batsman. Are you a left-handed batsman? Proper bat, as Daryl would say.
Oh, boo hiss. Terrible.
That's rubbish, Daryl. That really is.
I can't resist it. I can't resist it, can I? Big kid. I've got a new toy. I've got to play with it, haven't I? Let's be honest. Why wouldn't I?
Tim Bean knows his stuff. He says that David Cameron has played for the mighty Peasmore Village Cricket Club. So have you ever played for Peasmore Village Cricket Club?
No.
So it's definitely not David Cameron then. Okay. Are you under 30? In his dreams, I would say.
Harsh but fair. Somebody is actually. Have you played for Oxfordshire? Yes, has played for Oxfordshire. So we said a batsman. Have we asked? Are you an opening batsman? Yes, he is an opener. Are we getting somewhere? Are we getting somewhere, Kieran, do you think?
I think so. Have you ever played for Gloucestershire? Have we got another Gloucestershire player on the cards here?
No, we've actually gone outside the Gloucestershire. Right, okay, good. See, we don't just throw this programme together. Oh, yes, we do.
We certainly do. Are you a wicket keeper? Loads of questions coming in. Brilliant to see. And 40 people simultaneously online, which is great. So are you a wicket keeper? Not a wicket keeper.
I'm loving the next question. I've got to ask this. Has your wife, oblique partner, ever done the tease? I know the answer. I know the answer. Oh, I think I know the answer. No! Yes! Yes!
How's that going to identify who it is? Because everybody does the tease.
But I think it's great. A great question. I love it.
Right. So far then, Darryl, we have that he is a right-handed batsman. He doesn't really bowl. His wife has done the tees at some stage. He has played for Oxfordshire and he is over 30. Let's see if there's any more questions coming in. Hopefully there will be because we've got lots watching. Have you ever played first-class cricket?
No, not first-class cricketer on the books.
Follow that on. I'm going to follow on. Have you ever played List A cricket, so one-day cricket? Presumably, if you've played for Oxfordshire, maybe a yes.
I'm guessing the answer to this was somebody who asked it. Have you ever played for England at any level? No, not an England player on our books tonight.
Okay. Have you ever scored a county 100?
Yes.
So it's not you then, Darryl.
Steady on.
I'm getting my own back. Brilliant to see so many online. So you're over 30. I'm going to go on from that. Are you an over 50?
Oh, got another OAP on our hands, Kieran. I think we have to ask the question. Have you got your bus pass yet? No,
not yet.
You're not quite that old. Okay, cool. Just to reiterate why we're doing this was all done for a bit of fun during lockdown. It's got quite big over the last few weeks, and like I say, we've got some amazing guests, as we have tonight actually, but we've got some amazing guests for the future, and it's all done for raising money for the Lord Taverners for Oxfordshire disability cricket, for table cricket and Super One. So as you can see, Kieran is doing my job that I did last week, probably much better than me, with a very large finger pointing to our Just Giving page at the bottom of the page. You're doing very well, Kieran.
That was a huge finger, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, as Darryl said, justgiving.com. If you go to the Masked Cricketer, please donate even just a pound or two, just something to raise awareness for Oxfordshire disability cricket. And all we're doing this for is to raise awareness, have a bit of fun, and if we can raise a little bit of money for the Lord's Taverners as well, fantastic stuff. More questions coming in. Oscar Bean, he's probably looking for a new coach, Darryl, because he's asked, are you an Oxfordshire coach? Trying to get rid of you, I think, which is probably
He's a good one. Not a coach.
Have you ever coached? Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Freebs is in the house. Freebs, we've already asked your question before you came on. So he has, he has played at Great Chew at some point? He has played at Great Chew.
Did you go to St Edward's School? Good question. No.
A good question from a really good umpire, Mr. Pannons, better umpire than me, which is...
Gary, nice to see you, Gary. Hope you're well. Got some good people on here tonight. Joe Harris, one or two others. Mervyn, good to see you. Gilo, always good to see you. Obviously doing sterling work for our Oxfordshire disability cricket as well. So you're doing a really great job. I have to say that. And obviously that's what we're doing it for tonight. on that scroll at the bottom of the page. So good to see you on board. Tea was a bit late, Freeds. What did you have? Can you tell us on there? That would be good. Was your cricket club based in Oxford itself?
Ooh. Does that mean we're getting somewhere?
I think we are getting somewhere, Kieran. Have you got a couple of questions there? I think there's one I can see definite.
Do you now play in the county? Do you still play?
No, doesn't play. Okay.
Have you ever played with, pointing the right way, this person here? There. I'm not very good at working out where the camera is, Darryl.
And a pleasure it was too. Obviously for our masked cricketer I'm on about, but I'm sure once the unveiling's done, thanks masked cricketer. I'm sure you can expand on that when we get to see you. Ooh, yeah. Have you ever kept wicket, masked cricketer? Don't know if we've asked that question. I don't think we have. Yes, he has kept wicket. Are you a dodgy Cherwell umpire? Now, I didn't say that because I think all Cherwell umpires are absolutely brilliant and they never give me out LBW. So happy days. Not a Cherwell umpire. Okay. Freeds had a nice lunch or dinner there. Lamb and mint burger with salad, followed by rhubarb crumble ice cream. Lovely.
You know what? I thought that was a question about what this masked cricketer, what his wife makes for teas. Actually, it's obviously not. A few more questions. I'm not sure how close we are to guessing this one. We're getting some questions in, so hopefully we're getting close. One from a previous masked cricketer, the legendary Rob Cunliffe. Did you move to Banbury? Did you play cricket for Banbury at any point? You did. Okay.
Go on, Kieran. Sorry.
You're gonna ask the same question, so you go for it.
Are you a coach at Oxford MCCU? I think know what people are getting at there, but no.
So it's not.
Have you played for MCCU? Good question. No, didn't know the answer to that. That's good. Okay. Yeah, we're getting somewhere close, I think. We're getting somewhere close. Somebody's not quite sure, I think, on one of the questions there. They may be close, they may not be. I'm going to ask, did you ever play in the Trinity League? No. Are you David Beck? Not David Beckham?
Did you ever play for Pressed Steel?
Yes, he did play for Pressed Steel. This is going to be a no, but I'm going to ask it anyway because he's a legend. Is it Craig Hupt? Not Hupty. No, legend though. Coming back to play some cricket this year, which would be great to see him back on a cricket field for sure. Are you Steve Beck? No. You're going to ask a question about the ex-Oxfordshire captain, Kieran? I think you should.
I will. Are you Ian Horton? Is Ian Horton over 50? Surely not. That was one of our questions, wasn't it? That would be a bit rude.
He's close, I think.
Is he?
Do you have any children currently involved in the OCC setup? Oxfordshire County Cricket, I think. No. Are you Neil Megson?
We won't get him on.
No, we won't.
We'd never get him off.
We'd be here for 3 hours, wouldn't we?
We certainly would. Are you Stuart Laudat? God, there's loads of guesses coming in now.
Brilliant effort. That's a no to Stewie. Stewie also coming back for cricket for the over 50s, I think, this year. Very excited to see Stuart on a cricket field as well. One of the most talented players I've had the privilege of playing with and against. Somebody who could have played first-class cricket, I'm sure. People would agree who know him. I think we have had a guest, Kieran, a bit further up. I don't know if you
we have. We've still got 40 plus online. So what time do we make it? 20 past. So it's been 20 minutes. So it's been a good one. So the former master cricketer, in fact, we've had two guesses of this now, Rob Cunliffe and Kevin Taylor have both guessed. Are you David Wise?
It is Wisey.
Yay. So the mask was like a half clue, wasn't it?
Wisey, welcome. Great mask there, young man. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you okay. Can you hear us? That's the main thing. I think it was going okay.
If I couldn't hear you, Woodsy, I wouldn't be able to answer the question.
Yeah, it was going okay. I know. Thanks for that.
It was a great pleasure playing with you.
Yeah, thank you. The check's in the
Don't
post.
say things like that.
Check's in the post. I'm going to ask a question. Wisey, how's it been for you during lockdown, mate? How's it been going?
It's been good. I don't work anymore, so just been getting in the way here really with 3 women in the house. So I've just been trying to get out as much as I can really.
How's that been, living with 3 women?
Okay, well, Charlotte, my youngest, has been working from home, so she's been taking up the living room. Interesting, she started a new job on April the 6th, right at the start of the lockdown. So she may have completed a whole probationary period without ever going into the office, so that'll be quite interesting. Yeah, Caroline's working, doing a little casual job, and Amy's full-time at nursery. So Amy was furloughed for 3 weeks, but she's been back since, so all good, really.
Brilliant, great stuff. So you said you retired, but you keeping your hand in on other things? Do I get the impression?
I do a bit of painting and decorating and odd jobs for people, just to keep myself sane. I've also do a bit of delivery as well.
Oh right, okay.
Out on the bike or in the car, delivering some key worker apparently. So there you go.
Is that keeping you fit as well?
No.
Honest. I was going to ask. Obviously, people said there was a great question there. Did you play for Presteel Fisher? Now that's where you really started your cricket, I believe.
Yeah, well, I've played normally youth cricket under 13s, 15s, the great under 15 side. I got right through to the national final and then lost in the final. There's loads of players that we played. Me and Jeff Ford. Fordy was in that team. I don't even remember some of them. But yeah, it's a good little team that was. And then went on under 17s. We won the under 17s. And then into the senior side with the Finches. They were all there. Tim Winchester, remember Tim Winchester?
Yeah.
He used to steam in and throw it anywhere.
Yeah, he did.
And of course, John, he's now a really high standard umpire. He's a turn it miles. Yeah, and then I just got a little bit disillusioned with it completely. Cricket. Just felt I wasn't contributing enough. I wasn't getting on anywhere, so I just gave it in. And then Richard Pinot phoned me up and said, "Look, it's a bit of a waste. Why don't you come to Next with us?" Because my friend was Chris Clements, who heard through the grapevine I wasn't playing. So I went to Next and moved on from there, really. I started middle order. Started our first friend. We used to have a friendly at All Stars Cricket Club. Got a couple of runs there. Then went into the national team, the national knockout team, for a couple of years. Well, I used to bowl there. A little bit of medium pace, swing it the other way. But moving into the North Oxford team, you had Graham Hobbins and Roger Busby, Pete Bradbury. You didn't get a look in. I was only ever used in the national. And I was leading wicket to take it out because I was the 5th bowler. So they thought, oh yeah, here comes the joke. And I used to just swing it either way, big induckers, and they used to keep missing me. So there you go. So yeah, good days. With Terry Parsons as the main coach down there for me. I know Terry's, I don't know whether he's still involved, but he has been up to certainly reasonably short amount of time. Good bloke, Terry. Very solid, really keen, enthusiastic. learned a lot from Terry.
Yeah.
And obviously, Will Bennett was behind the scenes also, giving us experience. Yeah, good days. Good days.
I think those two names, Terry and Wilf, just brilliant from an Oxfordshire cricket point of view of what they did for youth cricket, and coaching along those times was just unreal. Jim Weston was another name I sort of remember from a youth. Did you come across Jim at all?
Yeah, Jim. Yeah. Not so much just there supporting really as much as anything.
Yeah.
Like I said, Wilf was an interesting one. He was on the county selection committee, and he was one of the harshest critics of the team, which was good. Kept us all in check really. So yeah, he had a bit of a nickname, which I'm not going to divulge to you.
We're having a few people say they can't hear you, Wisey.
Okay.
Something across.
Speak a bit louder, shall I?
Yeah, that's better actually. That is a bit better. Yeah, a bit
it's
closer.
It's an old laptop, I'm afraid. Can't afford a new one.
No worries. That's like Kieran.
I probably can afford one, but I just won't pay for one. So that's the difference.
That is a definite, yeah, for sure. Kieran, go on. I know there's a great. I'm going to put a note on the screen there from Richard Giles. I think we've spoken about that, Wisey. That's definitely a first dibs on the over 50s comeback. That'd be quite good. You might even get to the over 60s shortly. Is that right?
Yeah, well, 57 now.
57, so. Brilliant.
The aim was to try and see if I could do it this year. Obviously, I'm up in Warwickshire now. I did play a couple of years at Southern. Not a bad little team. Come down a little bit at the moment, but they're building themselves up. Yeah, I had a couple of years at Southern, a couple of years at Banbury 20 with Arnie. We had a couple of good years there. And then the question was, did I play for Banbury? At the time, it was Banbury 20. I think they've merged now, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
I've lost completely.
Was that a couple of years, David?
Yeah. I don't know whether we won the league, but we got very close to it a couple of times.
Yeah. No, and a good place to play actually as well.
Yeah. But I was looking at trying to play this year, see if I could actually do it. I can throw a ball now. I've had a rotary cuff done on my shoulder, which was probably through playing cricket and throwing and what. In the early days, bowling a lot. There's no restrictions for the kids in them days. I used to play midweek for the Erratics. I don't know whether they're still going or not. Just a friendly side on the Thursday. And I used to bowl all day at 15.
Oh, it's typical, isn't it?
Yeah.
With not many injuries happening then.
No, not at the time.
No, exactly.
Maybe later on.
You used to bowl little way swings and bring it back, and you had.
I could do it either way. I could just hold the seam one way, it went away, hold it the other way, predominantly in ducker. I used to swing it into the batsman. That was a missed stock ball, really, in ducker.
Yeah.
I could build a bit of pace, nothing more than above sort of medium. But it all went, as soon as I couldn't play regular, it was no good.
Yeah, brilliant. I was just going to mention one or two people here that are on. Nice to see Nick Bishop, first time of joining us. Thanks, Bish. Good to see you. Hope all's well at Thatcham Way, and whether you're going to get some cricket in. Well, it looks doubtful after Boris's statement about cricket balls today and what they carry. But perhaps we'll move swiftly on, because I know Kieran could go off on one on that. Kieran, have you got any questions for David?
David, yeah. So obviously you played minor counties cricket for Oxfordshire at a period where it was like a bit of a purple patch for Oxfordshire, wasn't it? And back in the day, I mean, I'm not trying to make you sound too old, because I'm sort of catching you up fast, but you played in an era where Oxfordshire had a lot of success, actually, didn't you? And obviously in those days, you used to play in the List A game, so you played a fair few games against some of the major counties as well. What's your sort of abiding memories, your best memories of playing for the minor county side back in the 80s and I think the early 90s?
Loads of memories, really. One of the things about the team, though, we were such a team together, because Oxfordshire had a policy of you had to play within the Oxfordshire cricket structure. We didn't have any professionals in, not like other camps, but Berkshire, they always buy one or two players in. So we were all local players, and all pulled for each other. So that's really a big memory for me. We all, even though we were real big rivals, North Oxford, Carrick and John, Headington, we were all big rivals, and Banbury obviously, on the pitch. And got into that, there's all the Mickey taking and stuff, but we all pulled together and pulled out some really good results. Some of the players I played with great players. That great players just Nick Down and Hobbins, Busby, and you got Rupert and Simon Porter on the front in and out. Where are we? I just made a little list. Big John Hartley, obviously Phil Garner, the captain. What a great captain he was. Full games out of the back from nowhere. Obviously Keith, Graham Saving, all that was my era. And obviously Jeff Ford. I have to read off the list nowadays for me. Yeah.
I'm just glad you haven't mentioned Daryl there. That's always good to hear because he loves to be mentioned. So
I keep reminding of the Oxford knockout final we played against Headington, where Headington got, I can't remember, was it 160 odd?
160, yeah.
Yeah, I managed to get 60 of them, and you got about 80 odd. And we done it with about 3 overs to spare. I mean, 180 and 20 overs in them days was quite a big score. Not so much now. Not so much now for big bats. But that was. But interesting though, coming off that pitch at half time, I don't know what I said it to you. I said we've got a chance here. It was such a flat track.
Yeah.
The output was like lightning, and we walked it really. You hardly hit a boundary. I don't think we just ran everything.
We just literally. I was going to bring that up. We did. I think I look back. I got 96 not out actually on that game, but I hit.
I'll make sure you didn't get a ton. Yeah, right.
You made sure actually. No, that's not in my black book. I can assure you. But I only hit 4 4s and a 6 that day. We run everything else. Our running that night was just amazing. And I don't know. I mean, for me, Wise, and I do mean this because I have opened with a lot of people. You've been my best opening partner because we didn't really call, did we? We just knew when we run. Our running was really good. It was one of the highlights of us batting together, really. Would you agree?
It's strange because if you develop that relationship, and I had it in the game with a similar thing with Terry Parsons when I was sort of in the seconds and building up. We very often didn't need to call because we knew what each other were doing. And we are much the same. And one of the good things that I used to like to do, especially in the minor counties, you got this big bowler screaming in. If you didn't have a short leg, the keeper was miles behind you. Get on your back foot, bowler bounce, all really good ball, drop it to your feet. Right, we'll have one. Or then I didn't have to really choose the bowler off. And if you really get into your skin, and then it's all the psychological bit, and then you start falling to pieces. Then he'll bowl you the half volleys, and then you hit them. And it was a good game. It's a good psychological game. I think people don't read too much into the psychological bit. There's some tricks you can do as a batsman, not only as a bowler and a sledging. As a batsman, you can do some tricks as well.
David, we talked. You touched briefly on the late great Phil Garner just a moment ago. We were speaking to Martin Ball last week, and he was telling us how the captain that he played under at Gloucestershire were one of the key reasons why Gloucestershire had such a successful spell. He was talking about specifically Mark Lane, and I guess with Phil Garner, he not only had a cricket brain, but he actually cared about all his players. And I did sort of briefly get to know him myself. He was really instrumental in Oxfordshire's success, wasn't he?
He was. In my day, it was very, very hard to get into the side. And once you establish yourself, it's almost as hard to get back out again. I think it's a bit of a standing joke. But one of the tips of them days of getting in, I got in because there was several batters, 40, Woodley, all at the same sort of level. But my fielding was so much better, and that's how I got in, and that's how I was able to get my foot in the door, and then slowly go from the middle order through and then to opening with like Stuart Waterston. We had quite a good partnership in those two. Put on some good opening stands in minor counties. That was he was good. He was good to bat with. He never used to face the opening ball. I had to face the opening ball every time. That was a written rule in stone. That was.
A lot of openers actually say that it's actually many openers that I know, I'm not sure if Daryl's the same, actually prefer to face the first ball, because the argument is that it's very unlikely that a bowler's going to be on the money first ball of a match. I mean, is that something that is that the reason you used to take the first ball?
To be honest, I didn't really mind. Very often, the first over, you did get one or two wide, because the bowler wasn't really pressing into the slots. You did get one or two, free hits really. The danger was obviously you get a good one first ball and you're stuck. You're not really either. But now it's doing that. I kind of, Darryl, did you take the first one, or did I? I can't remember.
Well, that's a good question, Dave, actually, because I've always felt that I've taken the first ball, but I'm not sure with you actually. Well, I think I might have done, but not.
Because I didn't bother. But I know Stuart just didn't want to know.
He wouldn't do it, would he? He wouldn't do it. He was fearful of that. Yeah. I managed to get all his old bats when I played with Stuart. Ones that were busted and mended, and I always used those because I couldn't afford a bat myself. So I owed Stuart a lot of bats over a period of time.
He was working for Grays then. Now working for Cooker, or whether he's still working for Cooker, I don't know. But he was working for Grays, and they were trialling a new a painted cover on the white bat. So in a minor counties game, he gave me his bat, tried this with her. So I went out and tried it. And after about the fourth or fifth over, he said, mid-wicket conference, he said, Wizard, you looked at the ball. I said, what's wrong with it? He said, got all white marks all over it. The paint from the bat was coming off. I said, well, can you tell him about it? He said, no, carry on, it's easier to see. So anyway, he took them back, scraped it all off, and I had to put it back from then on. So, yeah, he kept quiet, and it was apparently easier to see. I don't know, it's all the same to me. Yeah, he used to just keep chucking me gloves and bats and stuff like that. Good partner.
Yeah, he was.
Probably next year if I do it, actually. Get in touch with him again.
Yeah. He gave me the bat I'm using now, actually. I say gave. Sorry, it was a Kookaburra. But he went to the factory and just got the weight out that he knew I liked. And sure enough, he's given me a decent bat. It's lasted about 5 years. Some say I haven't picked one yet, but that's why it's lasted 5 years. But there you go.
Would you? If you keep it in the middle, you don't. It's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, no. Kieran would know. How would you, Kieran?
No, he tends to just let it hit the stumps or the pads normally, Dave, to be honest. Whenever I've seen him. I always remember a game a couple of years ago where it was an absolute road, and I think Downs got about 350, and Darryl was out in the first over, and he was sat on the pavilion, and he was very morose for the whole day. It was quite funny to watch, actually. And it was similarly, I think he lost the plot slightly in the field and kicked his cap, and when he realised nobody was going to go and fetch it, he sort of quite sheepishly went and collected it himself, which was quite funny.
Very unusual.
So obviously, you played against a lot of really good cricketers over that time. Who would you say, either minor counties or locally, who would you say is the best bowler that you've ever faced during your sort of cricketing career? That's a tough question, isn't it?
I've also played with and against Arnie locally, and he's got to be one of the best. Obviously, with Hobbo and Buzz being in the same team as me, I never faced them, and if I would have done, they would have been amongst the top as well. First class, we had a bit of fun at the Oval facing wacky units. That was interesting, because at that time I was middle order. I was back in about 5 or 6. So it was a convoluted game. It was rain affected, and we went down to a 20 over game. We didn't get a great deal, 110 or something like that. But I remember I was batting with Graham saving, and then Wacker came on because he liked the ball struck up a bit because his reverse swinging. So he came on as I went out, and Graham he bowled one on leg stump to Graham, and Graham got hold of it. It was heading towards the short boundary. I've never seen any batsman pray for it not to go for a 6. Don't go for 6. Don't go for 6. Just in case you got a bouncer the next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And bowlers, there was Lefebvre at Glamorgan. He played in that. He was quite a decent bowler. And in that game was actually Viv Richards' last season as a pro over here. He played one game for Glamorgan, and he played in that game for us. And Graham saved him, very nearly got him early on. after like the third or fourth ball. And then he went and got 163.
Was that the game where you got your highest score against List A side? Was it that year?
Yeah,
You got 60 odd against Glamorgan, didn't you? I think it was your last List A match.
Yeah. A great man batted me on the shoulder and told me well back this, so I remember that for a long time. But what a player he was. He just used to smash it. Even that was his last. I don't know how old he was then, but it was his last year. And I always remember, you know, where you do the practicing beforehand. Somebody throws the ball and glides it for the slip for catching practice. He was doing that, and he was just popping them one-handed without hardly looking at it. The reaction in them, it was just amazing.
Yeah, I saw a comment actually about Viv Richards the other day, saying that he's one of a few cricketers from the 80s that would slot into the current era and not look out of place because of some of the shots he played. I mean, he was absolutely. I mean, he was one of the first players that I remember watching. I remember watching him actually in a game for the West Indies touring side against Hampshire years ago. I think I was on school activity week. Don't want to make you sound too old, but I was on a school activity week and went down there, and it was kind of got me really interested in cricket actually, just watching him, and Malcolm Marshall was playing that game as well, and it was just incredible. And sort of the pleasure of actually seeing a player of that caliber in action, you know, that really got the bug for me, to be honest. So obviously moving on from minor counties, you had the opportunity, and I think you did play some second 11 games for Worcestershire, and you had an opportunity, didn't you?
Yeah, I got invited down. I got invited down there, and captain of the team, his name was Damien D'Oliveira, sadly not with us, but his dad was sort of managing the side. And I got 60 odd in the batting, invited me back down, but I just started my apprenticeship at Preston Fisher, and it's a big decision to make, especially in those days. There wasn't. We have the academies now where you picked up at a very early age. You know, I was 17, 18 then, and I just started an apprenticeship, and it was a huge decision for me to drop that and just go all in cricket with nothing. It would have been just play, you know, get expenses and just go and play a few games. So it's a big decision to make. So the setup nowadays is brilliant. I think if you look at some of the players that you've played for Oxfordshire on the fringes of Oxfordshire, we'd have had a lot more first-class players from Oxfordshire if we'd had that, you know, the introduction to the academy and do that, and linking with first-class counties. There'd been a lot more.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Dave. I think, you know, we weren't given the opportunity. You know, the infrastructure now is much better for these, you know, good players to go on and make it at first-class level, and they're getting, you know, all the facilities and all the coaching. It's there, isn't it? Yeah, it's costing money, you know, for the parents and stuff, but they are getting some good stuff off the back of it and giving them a chance to move on, I think.
And then the whole thing is pitched as a career as well. Not only in the playing, great if you can play, but there's huge opportunities in terms of coaching and managing sides, you know, which wasn't really promoted at all for us.
Yeah.
Coaching back to it. So it wasn't really promoted saying, look, if you want to carry on, you can do this, and that. No, it's the whole gimmick, really.
Absolutely, no, I agree. I mean, I was going to take you back again to the North Oxford days, because they were a successful side, but they were a successful side because they put the same 11 players on the park pretty much week in, week out.
Yeah.
Would you say? I mean, do you think that was a part of the reason they were so successful? Were there any other things that, you know, really made that team tick, if you like?
Yeah, well, obviously there was a talented bunch of players, and we were able at the time, with the Charles League being a closed shop, we were able to attract those players, because if you play in the Trinity, but to really get into the county side, to get into the fringes of it, you need to be in the Charles League. I think the only Graham Sabin that really came out of the Trinity was Graham playing the Trinity coming into the county side.
Yeah.
So that, you know, it's such and we all pitched together. There were sometimes we were 80 for 8, but we still get the 160 because, you know, the confidence in the team was just phenomenal. And like I said, the talent of the players there. I'm just going to read down one or two. But Hobbins, Busby, Bradby, Pinio was on his way down really. Julian Norton-Smith was playing for us when I started.
Yeah.
John Stapleton, there was a character. He had to get the right balance of, I think it was 2 halves and 2 Scotties before he played, and then he'd be brilliant. If he was completely stone-cold sober, useless, absolutely useless. And again, if he had too much, he was useless. But get him on that spot, he came off about 3 paces, put it on the spot, and did it either way. Absolutely brilliant. But the balance had to be just right.
It's the only way to play cricket, isn't
it? John Carr, left-hander.
John Carr, yeah.
Chris Clements, obviously, and my old mate, Alan Costa.
Yeah.
Because I used to open with Alan, and he was an amazing player to open with. He took all the pressure off it. I think we were playing over at Abingdon. I can't remember which game, down by the river, I think. And I think I played the first over, he played the second over, and he didn't get within 6 inches of the ball. He just couldn't get it. We had a midwifery conference, and he said, "Guys, he's just going to have to go." Well, I can't hit him, so he's going to have to go cow corner. Anyway, first ball, runs down a wicket, smashes over cow corner. And the bowler just looked at me, shook his head, and what do I do? Well, the first over, absolutely immaculate. Next ball goes over cow corner. And then from there on, it was plain sailing, really. But he used to destroy bowlers that were bowling well. And what a great keeper. He'd stand up to Hobbins, if it needed, on rubbish tracks. And he'd get hit all over the place. But just to stand up and put the pressure on the batsman.
I remember playing a game at Leighton Buzzard where the ball was going all over the place, and Crosser batted it. I think he must have got 60 out of the 100 we got, but he got hit everywhere. He took every ball on the body, bruises everywhere. But that was the type of guy he was. He would battle, wouldn't he, for you?
Yeah.
Just amazing. And as you say, could change a game at a drop of a hat. Just amazing ability. So, another character of our game, really. There's somebody's asked here, have you ever been locked in the bar at Aylesbury after a game?
Almost certainly.
Who hasn't? I was going to say, I think that's not down just to you there. But
it's interesting. We when I used to play, we always used to play for a couple of pints, talk to the opposition, and have a good bit of laugh. Talk about the game, talk about other games. It was a real sociable scene for both the clubs. I umpired in the Warwickshire Leagues up here last couple of years. I don't get changed and go home. They don't talk to the umpires, don't try and develop the game, see what went on. I was a great one for talking to the umpires, seeing what they thought about us, our appraisal of them. Never, when we scored the umpires, I always did it with them. So, and say, okay, if you want to score them 6, tell them why. And then they can improve and we can improve. They can discuss whether they were right or wrong. But yeah, that social side of things after the game is amazing. It just doesn't seem to happen nowadays.
It's a shame, isn't it? I'm sort of hoping after this pandemic that might happen again. I don't know. People are more likely to stop and have a drink and have a chat. I don't know. It'd be nice if it could. I mean, the over 50s, we do that all the time. That is sort of going back in the past, I have to say. Yeah. But not so much in league cricket. You get the odd teams, obviously, that do it. But it is a shame because I think it's part and parcel of the league cricket that we play. And it's a nice...
You were talking about Woodsy about that great team of ours. I think in one season, I went through the book. I think 9 players played every game. Graham Hobbins always had 1 week off, and somebody else had it and couldn't play for some reason. But 9 players played the whole season. And you get that consistency, you know what each of you are doing, you've got that confidence in the players, and it just goes on from there. But there aren't many teams that can play out 9 players every week throughout the whole week, whole season.
Doesn't happen anymore. It's a real shame.
When I went to Captain Biston North Oxford, I put up a big availability sheet and got everybody to fill it in, tick it in, and I just sat up with about a month to go, and I just said, guys, you don't want to win this league because they just didn't make themselves available. Really frustrating for me because I played every game. But there you go. That's me, I suppose.
No, absolutely. I'm with you. It was interesting, actually. Somebody's mentioned Phil Densham, and it was a name that Rob Cunliffe mentioned a few weeks back, saying he thought he was an underrated player. Did you play with him at Banbury 20? And with him,
Yeah, I played with him a couple of times. He was mainly playing. He played in the twos when I was at 20. But I played with him at the OCA team. And yeah, he's a great player, wicked little bowler. And yeah, it's again. There's been so many names you could see from that sort of era that could have made a real difference in terms of going on to do more things. But, yeah, good character and a good stalwart for Banbury 20 Club.
yeah,
Always at the ground, always organising, sorting things out.
Yeah, good stuff. Kieran, have you got any other questions you'd like to put to our master cricketer?
Well, I was going to say, when you mentioned about having a drink after the game, I've seen you play, Darryl, and sometimes I'd say you probably had a drink before the game, actually. But
Never. Not even in a friendly.
No.
Yeah, I think I did once, and I got an injury. From then on, never. Never did. During
was it always Dave, was it always cricket for you as your first love? When did you play a lot of cricket when you were sort of growing up through school and representative cricket when you were a young lad?
Well, I represented the county, believe it or not, basketball, being a little short ass I am, at school level, and I was at school level as well. I used to really enjoy the sport. I used to enjoy was rugby. I must admit, the team bit, everybody putting together. But I used to play when there was no league rugby or friendlies, and I used to enjoy that. Cricket for me was a sport I was okay at. I had to really work at it. And when I was a kid, I used to be in the when you talk about inspirational people, my dad was my inspiration. He spent hours just throwing the ball to me, and all I could do was play a full defensive. I had no netting around me or anything like that. If I hit it too hard, we'd have a pass, we'd hit that and go to the window, so I'd be in trouble. And if it went to the leg side, there'd be a hayfield out, a straw field there, and we'd lose the ball, so you'd have to stop. So all I could do was full defence, full defence, full defence. And that's the way I learned the cricket. And so, yeah, he was a big inspiration for me. He spent hours and hours with me in the front lawn, as it were. But in terms of cricketer, the ones I used to watch, strangely enough, it doesn't really come into the younger frame now. He's, again, obviously different class, but he was a player that really had to work for things. He spent hours and hours in the net, nothing flashy, working on his technique, and that was me. I couldn't just pick up a cricket bat and hit it. There's some lads can pick it up and they just straight away. And that's it. It wasn't me. I had to really work at it.
I think for every naturally gifted, talented player in any team, you have to have the grafters, the ones that do have to work really hard at the game. I mean, you could sort of, for example, use Alistair Cook and Kevin Peterson, naturally talented Peterson flowing batsman, and Alistair Cook, by his own admission, says throughout his career he had to work really hard for his runs. But there's a place in a team for both sort of player, isn't there? You need the grafters and the players that really have to fight hard for their wicket, just as much as you need the free flowing Kevin Peterson style players.
Yeah, and what you were saying about what sort of advice for youngsters and things, I think it falls into that as well. Coaching is critical. It's changed a lot from when I was being coached. But you've got to listen to the coaches, take on board. If it works for you, use it. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Use what works for you, and that's just the way forward. And I think there's so many because they play so many shots now. I couldn't play. I could only play 10% of the shots they play. All this reverse hooking, sweeping, not for me. But I just did it for extra cover, I suppose. Maybe.
I do remember a game at Tame where I think you got a big 150 odd, actually. Again, I think it was against Shropshire. And I just remember that actually being one of what I thought was one of your best innings that I saw, just because some of the shots you played and the timing you had that day on quite a slow, low wicket, to be fair, at Tame. But is there an innings that stands out for you? Not necessarily that one.
obviously, the two big ones was 150 against Dorset. And I mean, the minor counties, that was the highest score in the minor counties. And then we batted first, and we declared on 50 overs, and I ended up, I was 150 not out. An interesting day that, because I was the short leg for the county at that time. And so I spent all day, apart from one over, under the helmet. And it was a hot day as well. So that stands out for me. The other one, interestingly, was the first game for North Oxford in the Charles League. We played Headington, or Oxford. They just merged, and Harry St John and Headington moved and formed Oxford. So it's the first league game, and we scored. We just got just under 300 of it, and I got 150. And they come off half time and saying, "Oh, you should be declared." I went, "We're playing you first game of the season. You want me to declare?" So we did end up just getting the 7 points, but yeah, I remember that one quite nice.
No, cool. We just there's a couple of things coming in on a social note. There's Wizard remember sharing a room with me on an Oxbucks tour to Cornwall, frozen to death. What's that all about?
Well, I only ever went on one. I think it done me in, man. But yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. I also remember we had a day off, and the day off there was one rule on the day off. You didn't drink pints. You just had to drink halves. You drank 20 halves, but you had to only drink halves all day and all night. And yeah, we're talking about resurrecting it this year, I think. It obviously won't happen this year, but I'll be up for it next year. It'll be interesting to get some of the old fogies together. Go down the corner in September or something for a bit of a knock around.
That would be great. That would be great. Actually, it just reminded me of the SOA got some good press this week in the Cricketer because their tour was cancelled for obvious reasons to Devon. And it was a real nice piece in the Cricketer. Never played SOA cricket, but got on to, finding out that, SOA do provide, good cricket for league cricketers and for young cricketers. And there's also a tour that, if there are some cricketers that need to go but can't afford it, they will actually help them out. So really nice piece in the Cricketer on the South Oxfordshire Amateurs this week. Just
an interesting one there. You're talking about the amateurs. I know I used to play for the Erratics on a Thursday when I was young, but very, very few friendly games when I was playing for Oxfordshire. But we were playing North Oxford Saturday. Sunday was either county one-day team or Sunday, Monday, sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday for the county. We just didn't have time for friendlies, and I was always competitive, and friendlies never really appealed to me. You'd have a couple at the beginning of the season, and that would be it. But it's interesting how some people enjoy the game of cricket. I enjoyed winning. I enjoyed being competitive, and I am to be okay at it. And that's what I come from. Interesting.
Yeah, no, brilliant. I was just going to say, the reason we're here, if anybody's, can donate to our scroll, just giving page at the bottom there for the Lord Taverners and for Oxfordshire Disability Cricket, Super One, that would be brilliant. We would really like you to be generous if you possibly can. It's not compulsory, of course. There are some great little comments coming in, actually, on Facebook here. One saying, I feel that when and what you are doing and what we listen to makes you feel so proud to be an Oxfordshire. Again, thanks Oxfordshire for everything. Dave Wise, great words. So that's a really nice comment through there. I think I'll let you do the Leslie Woods one, Kieran, because you know Leslie very well now. So I think you ought to mention that one.
Your sister-in-law.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think Leslie's actually hit the nail on the head here. It's something that I've thought a couple of times, and she said she never realised how much she would actually miss going to support cricket and watch cricket than she has this year. And I actually think a lot of people have. Dave, I haven't played at a great standard at any stage, but I haven't played cricket probably for 4 or 5 years, with the exception of I think one President's Day game. and I'm missing it. And I actually want to get back. I was actually poised for my SOA debut this year, Daryl, and that's fallen by the wayside because of what's been going on. So I think that I've said this a few times, David. I get the feeling that actually once this is all over and we're through the worst of it, that paradoxically it could end up being a good thing that's happened for cricket, because I think people that really are passionate and love the game will realise what they've missed this year, and I'm hoping personally that that's going to sort of resonate next season. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it's a first-class county, for, it's 2 men and a dog going across it, and hopefully that'll revitalise that a little bit. I know they're trying things with the 100 game and stuff like that, but when you watch the highlights or the snippets from the TV from the Worcester games or more wherever, and there's nobody there, it's just people really. Hopefully, with absence makes the heart grow fonder. The phrase.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wisey, we always ask this question: if you had a superpower, what would yours be?
Time travel, I think.
Time travel.
Yeah.
Go on. Tell me more.
I'd just go back and I'd get more involved probably in some of the youth setup as we were going through, because I never really got involved in the coaching setup. So it's a case of putting things back, and that was the reason for doing the umpiring really up here. I've taken a lot out of cricket, and I'd try to get something back really.
Is that a little bit of a regret then, do you think, if you're honest, or?
A little bit, I suppose, yeah. But I've had a great career. Played with some really brilliant people, yourself excluding, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right answer.
Yeah, like I said, it's a case of putting them out there. You see a lot of cricketers, and I think they play the game and then disappear. The same with footballers. They play the game. How many footballers are managers of sides and they just play, take the money and run really, and then put it back into the league. Some of them do, not enough of them do.
Dave, we've come up just past the hour, so I think we're good to be closing. I think you've already mentioned what you would impart as something to the youth going forward. Is there anything else you want to say to those watching about cricket or anything, actually? Is there anything you'd like to finish with, if you like?
Well, I've been watching a little bit on the disability cricket and getting people involved with the disability side of things. And I work with a guy. I'm driving around social sites. He's a world record holder in a car and a boat. He's flown around the UK, and we're trying to get involved in that, try to generate some interest in that. So he's an inspiration as well. Plays at a handicap of 14 at golf. Can't see anything. He's not just playing partially, but he is flying. But the work that the Lord's Cavern is doing with the disabled cricket and the disabled schools, I don't know whether it all goes under the radar a little bit, but they supply mini buses and do tremendous things for these disabled kids, and they need all the help they can and encouragement really, because they can do more than us.
Brilliant, great words.
Thanks for your time tonight, and good luck with it all. I shall get on the webpage and rattle around in my pockets. See how many if a few shillings I can get together. So I can get together.
Good man. Dave, just from me, it has been a privilege tonight to talk to you, and also to be able to play cricket alongside you for as long as I did, because it was enjoyable. Super player, David, he really was, and good to watch at the other end, timing the ball. He did time the ball really well. So well done, Wisey, for your career. You did really well, and you did Oxfordshire proud, because you did win the county championship twice with Oxfordshire, I believe, in '89 and '91. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. Kieran, before I do my parting comments, what would you like to say?
I'd like to say thank you, David. It's been a pleasure. I've never actually had the pleasure of meeting you before, so it's always nice to meet new faces in cricket and people that are passionate about Oxfordshire. I love Oxfordshire. I love cricket as well, and And actually, speaking to you, you can clearly tell that you've had a good career. You enjoyed your cricket. What I would also like to say is, to those that have been watching tonight, again tonight at some stages we've had well over 50 consecutive viewers, which is amazing. It's been growing every week. What I would ask is, anybody watching, please share the Masked Cricketer Facebook page and also the YouTube channel to all your friends, family and colleagues on Facebook, because as Daryl said, we've had some fantastic guests over the first 10 weeks, and I can assure you we've got some unbelievable guests to come. And I don't think there's ever an opportunity to actually sort of ask questions of true legends of the game. I'm not just talking local legends, I'm talking national legends as well. So we're really proud of what you do. Daryl, actually, I'm going to say this to you. It's been a fantastic concept, and hopefully we'll continue this going. And once the season's finished, we might have a couple of weeks off during the close season, but I'm sure we'll be back. And we've got so many people have contacted us saying that they would like to do this. It's been quite humbling, I'll be honest, and and hopefully we can continue to enjoy ourselves. And once lockdown's over, we can get ourselves through the darkness of the winter as well. So yeah, Daryl, from me, thank you again, and David Wise, thank you very much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Really interesting actually to hear about your career going back to sort of the 80s and the 90s, and excuse me, and I think Oxfordshire do things well. I'm not being biased here. I really do think Oxfordshire do things well. Often we've been told that the county punches a little bit above their weight. It's we're a minor county, a small county, but over the last few years they've been doing us proud, and certainly you did us proud back in your day, and winning the championship twice in 2 or 3 years was a fantastic achievement. So yeah, for me, David, thank you very much, and hopefully we'll keep this going and have some more fun times over the next few weeks.
Stay with us. We'll have a chat off there at the moment. Just from me, thanks, Kieran. That was very kind of you and great.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure.
We obviously doing this for charity, so that Just Giving page at the bottom there, scrolling along. We'll be with you again next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. We have got some great guests lined up. I'm not just saying it. We have got some crackers. So please join us again next week. If you can donate, please do. And don't forget, we've got to get this trending. # Ask the Mask. Take care, keep safe, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Good night.